Serious women of Reddit. What uncommon red flags in women should men be on the lookout for? She's always the victim in her stories. Never the villain or the one who effed something up. I see you've met my ex. A pharmacist. She'd move jobs every year after falling out with a boss. Every boss. This post is 1 hour old and I've already seen 6 red flags that my GF does. Shit, now's a good time to talk to her. Just send her this link and be like, lol, it's you. Always deflecting the blame when you confront her about any sort of issue, no matter if directly caused by her or not, and using the classic I know, it's all my fault isn't it? Fake. Sarcastic apologies in general. Yeah. Especially when they try to paint themselves as the victim at the same time. Side note, my friend currently is allowed 2 days, up till like 8 PM, where he can have personal time by his GF's allocation. Is that weird to anyone else? He needs to get out that is abuse. I've been voicing my concern. But he doesn't seem to care much. IDK. They're about to move in together probably. She's a very nice girl from what I've known. Even before my lady introduced them. He's not gonna be your friend much longer. Because he's gonna get essed into that void of their relationship. Soon you'll just be able to do a few things together. Then rarely see each other. Then if you'll just go on a hike or get a beer or something, she'll be blowing up his phone. Then, you just won't really see him much at all. Because it's easier for him to not deal with it all. And they're only together. These are succubuses. If she makes fun of your biggest insecurities in front of other people for a laugh, and afterwards tells you it's just a joke, yep, that would be a sadist and a mind effer. Slowly removing friends and family while making it seem as if it's in your best interests. Also not wanting to admit faults or have excuses for their behaviors. Major red flag that you might be dealing with narcissism. Exaggerated self-importance. Excessive admiration for themselves. Might seem like positive aspects to have, but are really major red flags. If it starts feeling like your relationship revolves around their happiness, run. Worth noting here, there is a flip side to narcissism, which I've seen psychologists writing on more recently that applied to my ex-wife. There is the opposite, where they hate themselves and everything about themselves, but it's still a form of self-obsession and still insidious. Especially if you're of a personality type like mine. And predisposed to trying to save people. Something I have at this point definitely grown out of. Guilty as charged. Everything was my fault. I was always taking blame and responsibility. Projecting my fears. Asking partners non-stop if I was a bad person, etc. One day my ex just looked at me and said, "No adhesiveness. Stop. Just stop. Every time you assume you're the problem behind my issues, you're robbing me of the opportunity to speak up and tell you when there is an actual issue. I've tried really hard ever since to not be that person. It really does seep and take over everything in exactly the same way grandiose narcissism does. If she always plays the victim to get her way, very manipulative. Jesus, this makes me tear up. So much energy drained on a useless vampire. I kept thinking I wasn't trying hard enough. She had a ton of wonderful redeeming qualities beyond that, so I guess I stuck around for those. But the victim mindset will eat everything away. Learned my lesson the hardest way. Don't cast pearls to swine. This has been the hardest portion of my life. Finally broke away 2 months ago. She ended up gaslighting me, saying I didn't do things that I did on a daily basis, making me wonder if I was actually not trying. Then I had to remember how often I talked to her about things I had schooling on, and was able to prove myself right, and she still wouldn't accept the textbook fact. She made me feel like I was insane and could never be right. The fact I felt like I owed her something after I myself decided to move on is truly baffling to me. Hope you're doing better, bro. Trying to change you and mocking your hobbies/friends. Unless you have no personal hygiene and your friends are criminals, they should be accepting of you, not who they want you to be. If a woman takes pride in manipulation, run. I had a friend who would brag to me about being able to control people and situations with ease. She was a nightmare, never admitted to anything she did wrong, thought she was better than everyone, and whenever she was called out on any of the behavior she would turn around and blame it on my mental health. Trauma. Wah. Pity me. I'm the victim. Like no one ever saw through her bullshit as her trying to manipulate the situation. Edit. I'm glad most of you guys got out of relationships with women like this. If you are currently having to deal with people like this who take pride in their manipulation of you and others, I truthfully wish you the best, and please believe that you deserve better than being played, manipulated, taken advantage of, made to doubt yourself, whatever you want to call it. Oh wow, look, it's my ex. Reading these makes me feel a bit better about a decision I recently made. Same here, man. If she puts you down around others as a joke, shows total disrespect and the need to look good at the expense of hurting others. So many women deliberately degrade their partners in front of other people, and it's disgusting. Let me also include people who put down their friends to look good for you or someone else in here. Big red flag. There's banter and that's cool, a little ribbing is fine, but being a red hat is never cool, and all it does is show how the person will treat you in the future. Testing. Playing games. That's manipulation. Edit. I meant mind games. Like if you really loved me, you'd do this and this for me and such. I tried bringing this up recently with my friends. I was dismissed. Everybody plays games. It's so sad that people don't even realize how toxic it is. I broke up with someone over acting like this. You're just over exhausting the problem. All girls do that. You'll have to get used to it. I haven't dated much in my life, so I have no tolerance for it. XD. WTF. People just gonna accept bad treatment cause it's common. Why is it common? Romanticizing being a psycho. It's not cute. It's a massive red flag. When I first became single and was trying out, there were so many profiles that outright stated I'm a bitch. I walked out of a job as a teenager because of a proud I'm a BH supervisor. Didn't have time for her as my supervisor, and I don't know how other guys date women that are like that. The type that wears BH as a badge of honor. WTF. Right? Every one of those profiles just translated to I'm going to treat you horribly. But you can't get mad because I told you ahead of time. If she tries to physically injure you when you get her Starbucks order wrong, what kind of people did you run into? Damn. My ex used to be very cautious of me because I was much larger than her, and I don't blame her, but I got in trouble for accidentally bruising her once. Throughout the next couple of weeks she wanted to wrestle and stuff and would hit me. I ended up saying, if I can't hit you, you shouldn't be able to hit me. I had to tell her to stop a few times. Ugh. She would also bite me without my consent. Actually, after denying it, I hated that. If she's trying to stir up drama just so the relationship can be fun. I saw this with a former friend. Spicing things up as a couple is all good, but if she's stirring up the pot by letting other guys flirt with her just so you can play jealous boyfriend, so you can rescue her from a situation she started, as if it's some movie or something, stay away from her. My ex used to do this. Definitely a red flag. I was too dumb to see at the time. I'm so sorry that happened, but at least they're an ex now. I had a female friend who knew I had crush on her. One time she came to me complaining about a guy catcalling her. When I confronted him, he denied everything, and she got angry, calling me jealous. Women don't need your protection, etc. I felt sad, cut contact, but became friends again. After she started trying to talk to me after a fake apology, she repeated the complaint again after few weeks, and this time I didn't confront the guy, so she got angry for me not confronting the catcaller, called me weak, coward, etc. I put up with it like a doormat I was, until I started losing my sanity. Never again. I knew a woman who was bonkers. She expected her boyfriend to read her mind. Yes means no, no means extra fries, and would punish him when he didn't behave accordingly. She was also ridiculously hot and frequently joked that her boyfriend was out of his league. Prior to me not being around her anymore, her boyfriend had gone to Starbucks and asked what she wanted. She said she didn't want anything, so he didn't get anything. According to her, he should have known that nothing for me meant a large soy vanilla latte with caramel drizzle. As such, she put him on the silent treatment for 3 weeks. They lived together, but she was making him sleep in the guest room as she was only coming out of the bedroom to go to work. What about food, you ask? He was ordering her favorites from DoorDash every night and leaving them outside the bedroom door and picking up the trash when she'd throw it back out the bedroom door. So if she's hot, if she's so hot and the sex is mind-blowing, but the trade-off is she has a dream about you cheating, so she intentionally breaks your sparks and won't tell you why. Run. The entitlement with this woman is probably the most extreme I've heard about in this thread. Women who follow rules for dating. I have a friend who follows rules from Sex and the City. If she's dating someone, they have to move in together at the 6-month mark, engaged at 1 year, etc. It always ends in disaster and she's so focused on meeting those goals without paying attention to how her partner feels about any of it. That's sad. Self-sabotage is a terrible thing, but it's not just self-sabotage, it's the partner sabotage as well. Wasting his time, emotions, mental health on someone who will inevitably ruin the relationship is worse. Making decisions on your behalf without asking, including what you will eat, wear or do. TBH, I'm tired of making those decisions. Would love to offload those. Just buy a bunch of the same t-shirts and wear those every day. Wearing the same black t-shirt every day kinda freed up some mental bandwidth to think about more important things. My husband does this. Black tee, black pants, same outfit every day like a cartoon character. I do this too, and so does a friend of mine. If you walk away feeling depleted after spending time with her, this is a huge one. I once casually dated a woman who, I couldn't point out exactly why, made me feel mentally tired. After being with her, the relationship didn't last. Of course, every day my ex would come home with 99 problems that happened in her day. 97 of those problems turned out to be things she directly caused, but was completely unwilling to change how she dealt with her problems. Gee, someone looked at me funny, so I punched them, and I got detention. Can you believe that? I wish I was exaggerating, but that was actually one of the things she complained about one day. Had a friend like this. Could never maintain normal relationships with anyone because he had no filter on what came out of his mouth, and would bluntly state how he felt even knowing it would be hurtful to the person, but couldn't understand why nobody wanted to be around him. I found out my childhood friend had a brain tumor removed. He is like what you described now from what I hear. Sad situation, but I think the people around him at least understand. When she constantly traps you in difficult situations, like asking if she or her friend are prettier, like that. Sometimes they are just looking to stir s, and there's no right answer. Just run, man. My best friend's girlfriend does this all the time. Even when my girlfriend and I hang out with him and her, she will literally ask these exact questions, and then even go as far as asking me if he's ever cheated on her when he leaves the room. She is incredibly insecure about herself, and it shows on so many levels. My other buddy and I always bring this up to him, and he's well aware of it. He can't exactly leave the relationship since they now have a child together. I feel so bad for him. It seems like such an exhausting relationship to be in. He can't exactly leave the relationship since they now have a child together. I say staying together because of a child sets a bad example for the child and never a good reasons. Yes, she will be in his life for a long time to come, but does not mean he should stay with her. I certainly wish my parents had divorced and spared me their drama. Laying on a guilt trip. If you're going out with your friends and she's not invited, everyone needs time apart to hang out with their people. Edit. Wow, you went to work and came back to all of this. Thanks, everyone. And thank you for the awards. I wish you all well. Doesn't even have to be going out. Could be guilt tripping you for staying in and doing your own thing / hobby alone too. My cousin was always guilt tripped for playing video games, trading cards, and not being a grown up. WTF does that even me? He can't have hobbies? Edit for grammar. Apparently being a grown up means losing all interest in hobbies and becoming a boring, depressed, burnt out person. No, you're supposed to stop video games and watch TV instead. It's okay to binge a full season TV, but not okay to spend 3 hours playing video games. The ones that play games like, I don't want anything for Valentine's Day / gets nothing on Valentine's Day / ugh, why didn't my boyfriend buy something for me? And then get really angry. BF honest. Don't play games like a teen. See, I'm okay. Even if it's like a sorry. I thought I'd be okay with it, but I ended up feeling really bummed out. So next year let's do presents. Because that's the adult way to handle that situation, and I don't think there's anything wrong with expecting presents for those things. It's the getting mad part that makes us juvenile. If she gets jealous whenever she's not the sole source of your joy / happiness. It sounds exhausting to be someone's sole source of joy and happiness, holy shit. Not if you consider your mere existence to provide all the joy and happiness they should want. The need to document everything on social media. If they treat you like a pet whose only job is to make her happy, buy her things, and give her attention, while she does the bare minimum in return. If she holds you under a scrutinous gaze, looking for everything you do wrong, or if she plays stupid games instead of communicating, or basically if she does half the S you see on TikTok. Also would add, if she wants to offload all her emotions and problems onto you, but is impatient and or unempathic, if you express your emotions, it should be a partnership, where you're both there for each other. Damn, this hit home. Little late, but trust me on this one. Someone who constantly does things you have repeatedly said makes you uncomfortable. All the oh stop being so controlling BS is getting kinda old, because the boundaries are blurring. If she has no respect for you, or your boundaries run away. She volunteers you for stuff, and then tells you about it later, and you are expected to go / help. Dude, my mom used to do this to me, and it was always volunteering me to help someone move house. My mom still does this to me, except now I tell her no. The last time my mom did this, it was during a surprise video call with the person she had promised my help to, when I told her, later, that she can't just volunteer me for S, though this was something I would have agreed to if she had just asked. She went off on me for being selfish and entitled. I'm a married, working adult in my 30s living multiple countries away from her. How can she volunteer my time for something when she doesn't even know what I'm doing day to day? If she tries to make you feel guilty for wanting some alone time, or for spending time with friends or family, if she degrades your hobbies or interests to try to dissuade you from taking time to do those things, if she withholds intimate relations as punishment for this, that's not normal or okay. Yeah, using something as leverage to gain control is seriously awful. Mom's done that to me my whole life, and all it did was teach me never to be too attached to anything. One good thing though is that I'm never too upset about losing anything equals P. I hear you. I don't have a relationship with my dad or either of my sisters, largely because of my mom. IDK if uncommon or not, but please forgive me if a woman is passive aggressive. Please run. Anybody who can't speak their minds on something, you'll be miserable. I'll end this THR hard way with my ex. Women who put down other women. If she is always insulting / being nasty about other women to you, that's a red flag. It shows a lack of self-esteem and jealousy issues.